in time, I, as the moderator who took a couple notes, get the opportunity to interact with some of the debaters and go over some things that were going in my head. After that, we will go over to some super chats and audience, which are full of audience's questions. So there's a point in time where the Apostle Paul, which I think you would think his authority is like right there below Jesus because it's the Apostle Paul, correct?
He's an apostle, yep.
Right? Yep. He is giving the gospel to a group of people called the Bereans. And the Bereans, instead of just taking what Paul is telling them, which is the gospel, by the way, they test what he says by the scriptures day and night. And at the end, Paul exalts them as the most honorable. Do you think in that moment that was a blind trust that they were exercising, or was it, no, I'm sorry, sir, we're going to have to examine what you're telling us?
The authority of Paul we hold because we know he's an apostle. They didn't know who he was. They didn't realize he was an apostle. He didn't have, to strangers, he didn't have that authority.
Gotcha. And then, Andrew, I had a question for you, actually. There was only one moment where I was in kind of some slight disagreement with you here, honestly. You gave him the scenario where he's interacting with the authorities and they are accosting your wife, right?
Yeah.
If I were to intervene in that situation, I think I would be escalating the situation very much more highly. I wouldn't just be ending up face down alongside my wife on the ground. Do you think that's a smart thing to do, or do you think you should just get involved with as much, like, maybe I'm looking into the situation too deep?
Well, I don't believe you. I don't believe that if cops were kicking the shit out of your wife in front of you, that you could be restrained. I don't even think it's possible.
Correct. So,
well, then what are you even talking about? Then what's the question even? You know,
the question. Well, the question is,
who cares even if it would escalate it? You wouldn't be able to help yourself, would you?
Oh, no. I'm saying I would probably escalate. I would be honest and candid with you and say I would escalate to deadly force because these are armed men coming into my house.
No, you didn't even just say that. That's absurd. Just an absurd hypothetical. You would never do that, right? We would never do that, Pedro.
Yeah, I would never.
You would never do that. So, but
yes. I think we're going to move on into audience questions, I think.
Yeah, we got a lot of super chats to get through.
Arrogance disguised as humility, respect, proper authority. Assumes you know which one is proper. He may not even realize his position is more relativistic than he thinks. I think that one's to you, Ben. Do you want to interact with that at all?
That is a problem because we have to decide, like in the Christian world, who is the proper authority? Is it the Protestants? Is it the Eastern Orthodox? Is it the Roman Catholics? Is it the Muslims? If we go outside, right? This is a problem, and we are left to seek, and we only have our minds to do so and our consciences, and it's a difficult problem. It's why our churches, all Christians should unite. Jesus told us to. You know, he prayed that we would be one.
Your belief that all Christians should just unite under one flag. I mean, under the Orthodox flag, but no, anything else that's ecumenism.
Do you think it would be great if our children only had one united church? You know,
well, they already do. It's called Orthodoxy. You can anytime you can come over.
Well, who's the bishop of Rome, Andrew? Who's the successor of Peter?
It's not you.
No, it's not me.
It's not.
All right, let's move forward. 2.2 acres and a bear for another $5. Reno should be deep into a life sentence for premeditated mass murder.
He's talking about Janet Reno. She's a complete fucking bitch and deserves to be behind bars for the rest of her fucking life for what she did.
I wouldn't say stuff like that.
That she deserves to be behind bars?
Yeah, okay.
And also I can say she's a stupid bitch. I'm going to say both of those things together. So she's a stupid bitch and she deserves to be behind bars.
Okay. You can say that. I just don't think you should. You're a Christian.
Joe R for another $33. Oh no, that's a bad one. I can't read that. I'm sorry, Joe. But thank you for the $33.
Read it.
Then rephrase it.
If it's an insult towards me, read it.
You can take it. Okay. Does Benny? Okay, yeah. Does Benny sit while he pees?
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
thank you. Thank you for your honest answer, sir. David for $5. Would Ben respect Hitler because he was the authority at that time and place if he lived in that community?
That's
Yes.
a great question.
Yes.
If I would have voted against Hitler, but he at first, when he was the whatever chancellor of Germany, he did have that authority.
Right. So yes, right, Ben.
Yeah, I think we would have tried to work something out as a populace.
Yeah, you would have worked something out with Hitler, Ben.
Yeah,
He would have had you over for tea, and some like vegan sandwiches or something, right?
Would I have sabotaged my own side, my own men, and killed my own men? I think you could make the argument for that. I think a lot of people didn't.
There were people who doing that. Who were doing that, sir? Go for it.
If I was on the Enola Gay, right, the plane that was sent to destroy Hiroshima, I think I would have had an obligation to sabotage that plane and not let humanity do that. As well as if I was a German firebombing the cities in Germany, you cannot kill women and children.
Maddie / Digital Minefield for $5. I thought Matt Slick was the worst debater of all time, but Ben has easily claimed that title. This is an absolutely abysmal performance.
You love it.
You take it on the chin very well, Ben.
At least I'm one of the something-ist. The worst I'll take. Best or worst, just not boring in the middle.
Gotcha.
Nope, you're not going to take that for sure.
2.2 acres. Georgie Porgy for $5. Ben Thorpe might be the most unlikable and annoying guest you've had on the Crucible. Incredible.
Woo! I'm a super villain. I'm not a troll though.
Super villain makes implications about things that you're not, for sure.
Okay, I'm a jerk.
No,
can you grant me that?
No,
I'm annoying.
Not even a jerk. No,
I'm very annoying.
I can grant you that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Next one coming from I found it. Made by Jim Bob. $5. Ben, would you have trusted Jimmy Savile with your kids as he was a dear friend of your late queen?
I mean, I can't know in the circumstances. The guy, when you look at it, he looks creepy. It looks like, how would anyone? Would I have gone to Epstein Island? I don't think. I think I would. I think I, like Donald Trump, would have said there's something wrong here. But I don't think that everyone who went to Epstein Island was, I think some people were there for conferences and didn't know the situation. But maybe they did. I don't know.
Didn't get off.
2.2 acres and a bear. Thank you for your $5 donation. Gun control for Ben.
Yeah, well, let me answer first with my stance on guns. You should have a lot of them, as many of them as you want, whatever type that you want, whenever you want them, for no good particular reason other than the fact that you like them.
I don't think that's good. Well, I mean, my friend said the other day he was walking into McDonald's and this guy open carrying.
My God. He couldn't even enjoy his cheeseburger.
If we're all open carrying all the time.
How are we ever going to trust each other, though?
Right.
Don't we have to trust people who are carrying guns? Don't we want that high trust society?
I don't want my kids to be in a society in which everyone is open carrying.
Why?
Guns.
If you trust them.
Well,
that's not what this is about. Well, if everyone's armed to the teeth, it can flare up very quickly. Would you like to see like the Black Lives Matter people like armed to the teeth?
Yeah, I don't remember seeing Black Lives Matter people armed to the teeth shooting anyone. Right. I saw a bunch of armed people run those maniacs out multiple times. That's what I saw.
I think it's
I saw when they went to the wrong places where they shouldn't have been, that men with AR-15s were like, get the fuck out of here, and they left. Wasn't that amazing? That suddenly you had some type of equalizer against a massive mob of people who wanted to kill you for the color of your skin?
Well, you make the argument that if you bring a weapon and point it at people, you're escalating the
against
situation.
A mob that's there to hurt you? You think that
I don't think it was there to hurt them. You think that
having a weapon? Do you think that Kyle Rittenhouse did anything wrong? Do you think that Rittenhouse was in the wrong because he defended himself against an armed mob of lunatics?
I think what happened there was self-defense. Whether think it was prudent for him to go there with an AR-15, I think is a good question. I think his heart was in the right place.
Well, they should have just trusted him, and there wouldn't have been a problem.
He was not the proper authority, but the proper authority wasn't doing their job.
Oh, the proper authority wasn't doing their job. So who was the proper authority? I guess it was might makes right at that point, wasn't it?
The police. And you had an anarchic situation.
There was no police.
Well, I think they were there, but they
the proper authority wasn't doing its proper authority job, was it?
I agree.
So then who's it left to, Ben?
Right. Then you have a situation of anarchy. And I understand people who want to defend their property in that situation. I do.
If everybody in society is armed to the teeth, don't you think the average person would walk out the door with the mentality of, I'm going to treat every person I have an interaction with a little bit more respect so that I don't get shot? Could that be a good deterrent and make a better society, elicit a better decorum overall to each other? Because at any moment, if you trigger the other person, they could shoot you.
Yeah, this is the kind of theory of mutually assured destruction, right? That if we all have guns pointed at each other's heads. I mean, you're saying your view of human nature is that human nature is good. And I think it's a tough situation. I don't think that... I think I would be nervous. I wouldn't want my children in a society in which everyone was armed.
What changes you fundamentally as the person you are by strapping a sidearm on? Do you suddenly lose who you are?
No, I understand. I understand that people have guns for various reasons.
So all these same people that you're advocating that we have high trust for, they don't change just because they're carrying a gun.
Well, let's say you were in a McDonald's with your kids and there's a kind of sketchy guy and he's open carrying. Wouldn't it make you a little nervous?
Not a bit. Been there. Ben, when you're 6'8", is it really hard to find knee pads that fit?
For what? Prayer?
When you're 6'8", yeah, is it hard to find knee pads that fit when you're 6'8"?
Your knees don't get any bigger. Some of your organs get bigger, and I'm sure you'll speculate upon which ones those are. And let me tell you, it's not necessarily, it doesn't work out that way.
Gotcha. Grace Thorpe for $20. Thank you for having my dad
$20
on. I thought he did a good job. Good here. Haha. Love this channel. Hey, Grace, we appreciate your viewership. Joe R for $9. I have a conspiracy that Ben is not 6'8".
1 inch taller than Owen Benjamin.
Yeah, I love Jim Bob. I can see it. Do you get scared when people conceal carry?
Well, Ben? You wouldn't know if they conceal carry, right?
Well, I don't understand though. I think you're missing his point. That is his point. So what he's saying is that your fear is all coming from your brain. All of those people who are carrying those guns openly could be carrying them concealed. You'd have no frame of reference, and you just trust them anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
so why would the thing being seen so that he's showing you that he's armed be different than the thing being concealed? Why is that a trust breaker for you?
Well, I mean, I don't have knowledge of who's carrying concealed weapons, so I understand the open carry is in some ways more assuring than concealed carry. Yeah, I understand that.
All right, Hydronic Bear for $5 Canadian. Ben, it sure seems like you follow a lot of people you disagree with. Why?
I don't know what that means. Follow on the internet?
Yeah, he's saying that he thinks that you're chasing clout.
I am chasing clout. Yeah, I love you guys. I think you guys are superstars, and I want to chase clout right to take over the internet with you.
Take over the
I think
internet.
You guys are stars. I love Jim Bob's community. I love Posh. I think you guys are terrific.
Now, I did want to just make this abundantly clear that Jim Bob's just got done saying in chat.
I was clicking it up when you clicked it up.
Okay, go ahead. Click it again. He said, "Fuck off. You're not welcome in my community." I just wanted to let you know. Just wanted to make.
But your chat wants me back. There was a guy today who put in T and then an H, O, R, and P.
Yeah, but
I respect Jim. I respect.
Do you remember
Jim.
Earlier when I was talking about my moral foundations and feeling guilt? The second I'm done with this, I'm going to feel a lot of that guilt.
You're going to feel
that
dirty.
much, not nearly as much as I probably should. But
because you were disrespectful, unlike Pedro, my man.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a wonderful night. Thank you all so much for showing up to the Crucible. We appreciate it. Just to get guys like Ben Thorpe on here. Holy shit. We're out. Have a good night.
Thanks, guys.